episode of Stampin' with Candice, live on multiple channels. My name is Candice Anderson. I'm super excited to share this technique with you. I'll be honest, I was kind of playing around with some different ideas that I had seen somebody else do. And I don't know if I did, well, I know for sure I didn't do exactly what they did because I had tried that on something else. I'm trying to think. Hang on one second. Grab the card that I had originally made with the technique, if it's here. I think it's here. Um, that she had shown. Okay, yep, it's right here. So we'll switch cameras here in a second. Well, I can show it to you this way, I think. Um, Hang on. Move things out of the way. So maybe you can see it. Maybe not. Um, oh, hang on. I'm backwards. Let me reverse me. Hang on. There. Now it's correct. So this is the technique that I was originally kind of playing around with. And it was kind of this really cool technique, and I wanted to try it with the new sunflower embossing folder, which will be available, I think, next month for um, customers. It's one of the uh, fun things as a demonstrator. We're given the opportunity to order them early so we can start showing them, make projects, get everybody excited. And I just love this one and had to get it right away. I wanted to try this technique, but I ended up going a little bit different than what she did on this one. And so I don't know. I'm sure somebody else has done something like this. I just called it a dual embossing because I am going to dry emboss and wet emboss on the same thing. Like I said, there's other people who have done it, but anyway, so hopefully you enjoy this. I'm going to turn the camera and welcome for those who have joined. You can see there's somebody that's out there watching. And those that are joining later on or joining through watching it later, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy this. We're going to switch cameras here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so like I said, this was my original idea that I had gotten when I started playing with this. And she embossed and did, oh, I just realized I forgot to grab my than what she did. And what she had done is she put a bunch of ink on her glass mat and then kind of dipped into it. And I'm not going to be doing that. And she did kind of more of an emboss resist technique, meaning that she then wiped away the excess. And I'm not doing that either. So, like I said, a little bit different, still very cool technique. And I think hers is Yo. Oh, I can't remember the name. I'll let you know where I had seen Yogo, I think, or something like that. Um, I had watched her. Her technique was really cool, and like I said, I kind of put my own twist on it. So this is the brand new uh, sunflower 3D embossing folder. So this is one of the thicker ones. So when you emboss with it, I will show you the plate layout with it, but it's definitely one of the thicker ones. And you'll notice it's huge. I love how big it is. So this is a regular size. So you can see kind of the difference in the two sizes there. So this one is really big. We also have kind of the square size, which is the same here, but it's a lot longer. I was going through some pictures of when we went to North Carolina, and there's a backdrop that we took pictures in front of that had a bunch of sunflowers. I was thinking this would be really fun to do a scrapbook page with my friends. And so if I get that done, maybe I'll use this technique on it and share it with you. Um, so anyway, I'm going to move this out of the way and show you what we're doing here. And I think I might actually go ahead and ink up a different. So as I was playing with this. I'll show you. I actually have one card inking up this side, one card inking up this side. So one is more embossed, one is more debossed. I honestly think it looks good either way. Um, yeah, it looked good either way. I think I inked up kind of this one, so I think I'm going to go up in here for something different for this card, and I'm going to kind of ink up this one. So I'm just taking my Versamark and I am pressing it straight down onto my ink here. Some of the ways they do it there, they tell you just to kind of tap it so it doesn't get down in. Kind of just depends on what you're going for, what look you're going for. I'm going to try and get that a little bit further to the edge here. And I just have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece here, and I'm putting it in. I'm going to flip that. Okay, so one thing I guess I should say that I have learned is if you put it on the opposite one, the one you haven't inked, then just in case if it slides or anything, you're not going to get the ink to move weird. So I kind of forgot about that when I started to put it there. So we're going to do our base plate with just the one with nothing on top of it. And then we are going to use our embossing one. Now this is where my fold is. So that's the one end I want to put in first on my cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to put the fold in first. And what that does is just allows the pressure to hit that first, and it helps keep um, your folder from cracking as easy. Doesn't always solve it, but usually it helps. I just roll that through, move this out of the way. And then when we take our sandwich apart, sorry, I'm going to move things out of the way here. So this is where I had my ink. Oh, sorry, no, it was on this end here. So I am going to pull it out, and I'm going to move this out here so that I can sprinkle. So I am just using clear embossing powder, and I'm sprinkling it all over, and I should have put it on the little smaller one, but that's okay. So I just want to get ink all over this as much as possible. And it looks like I missed part of it. That's okay. We will improvise. We'll see how it turns out and go from there. We might just cut it down. And I usually do it onto the smaller paper and kind of forgot. So we'll do it onto the bigger paper. And then we're going to grab our embossing. So it's going to get loud here for a second. So give me just a second. I should have heated this up some first. Let's see. Hopefully we can see this here. Okay, can you see it kind of starting to turn here? You'll see it start to go all glossy. And that's what we want. And it is a big area, so it's going to take a minute. I thought about pre-doing one, but I wanted you guys to see the whole process. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. If you ever have questions, you want to see a specific technique, give me a shout out. I would love to share. You can see right here, I did not get the ink all the way over on the uh, thing. I did not squish it down very well. That's okay. We just might cut this a little bit shorter and not use the whole thing. Now, I definitely did not put my paper in the right place, but that's okay. I'm going to pull this up so hopefully you can see. Can you see how that's shiny on there? You can see over here it's not shiny because I didn't get the ink. It's an awesome way to kind of show you the two different things on the same one. And then we might just cut this up. So I'll show you a finished card later instead. Well, I'll show you my finished card of my original, but this one we'll probably be sharing later because I'm going to end up changing it up a bit. So I've got a bunch of different colors here. I wanted to play around with some different ideas. And I am using my ink, and then I'm using the sponge daubers. And I'm actually going to try and maybe do a little bit of the leaves first here. So I'm just using my sponge dauber, and I'm going to just kind of daub where I want the ink. Now, if you were to do an emboss resist, then anywhere where the ink is, you could actually, I mean, the where the embossing powder is, you can actually grab your what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tissue, and you can kind of wipe it off. So you can see it's going to give a different look over here where it's not glossy. And you can definitely decorate using this same idea. And I'm going to close that one and grab out my mossy meadow. So I'm just kind of adding a little bit of the darker. Not going to fill it in as much. I just want to do kind of a little bit of a highlight kind of look on here. So just adding a little bit more texture with this one. And then we're going to get into our sunflower here. And I have my Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to just start daubing on it. Obviously adding more ink, less ink, kind of depends on what you want. And you can definitely see the difference of where I did not get the what's the word I'm looking for? The clear embossing powder. So the wet embossing is what you would call that one. That's okay because it's still going to look cool. And that's when you just pivot. That's one thing I love about stamping and creating is it's your own project. And if it doesn't go quite what you'd planned, that's okay. We'll just go a little bit different direction and see what else we can come up with. And sometimes that's when we find new creative things that we weren't planning on doing. And I am going to grab my pumpkin pie and do something similar, just kind of adding a little bit more dimension, texture, that kind of stuff here. So I'll pull this up so that you can see it here a little bit more in a second. And then for the inside, I'm actually going to use my original ones. I did not do this color, but I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I have pecan pie that I'm using here for the inside. And then let's see. Guess there's not really just those two. And then I'm going to use some early espresso. Of course, you do not have to use two colors. You can use just one, kind of, just depends on what you want. And because we're using the sponge dauber, it's okay if we're getting a little bit of extra color somewhere else. It's definitely not, if you're a perfectionist, this is not the technique for you. I will tell you that right now. So I'm going to lift this up so that hopefully you can see that color. on there. Let's see. There we go. See that shine? Now, if I were to really rub this here, I could rub some of that color off because it is going, but it is going down into the cracks, the parts that did not get the embossing powder. Now, if we go over to here, you can definitely see where the embossing powder was not. On it. We could throw embossing powder over the whole thing to kind of seal it in if we wanted to and give it a little bit more, um, where I didn't get it all on it. I could cut this, use just this portion, and then use this for something else. I don't know. I'll play around with it and kind of see what I come up with. So I'm going to show you my finished ones that I had done. So right here, you can see that I have pulled those different colors, and it just, I'm going to put these two by each other. So you can see kind of the difference in using the embossing powder first before or not using the embossing powder. So it just kind of gives a different, I just love the look of that gloss. But you'll also notice that it's not catching into all of the things. So this one here, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure this is the one where the flower is embossed up. So you can kind of see the difference if we were to look at this. I believe, yeah. So that's the front side versus this one here would be the, I think the back side. No, I'm telling you wrong. This one right here, because it goes down in, I believe that's this one here. So you can see, I want to put these ones up. Can you see the difference on those two flowers? The exact same flower. This one dents in, which is what this one would be doing. It would dent in. So this is this side, this is this side. Uh, Again, it's beautiful either way. So this one, I went this direction with it. If you're wondering where I got this, it's the tags to go. So it's just the little enjoy, and then you can get the matching tags. So I use this little tag to add that. So super simple, easy, quick, fun way um, to do it. These ones, I did it more of the orange. This one here, I was going to do the brown on there, and we'll kind of play with it, and I'll share the card once I finish it. I'm going to play with the ink, and I mean the embossing powder, and kind of see how we can make that work, or maybe I'll do a portion of it. Haven't decided yet on that. But again, I want to pull those up. I wish the camera did them justice because I just don't think it does. That it's so pretty. And again, you can go either way. If you'll notice here, where it's catching the color is definitely different than here where it's catching the color, because that embossing powder keeps it from getting in all of the spots, where here it's definitely getting into the spots a whole lot more because I don't have that embossing powder keeping it from getting into it. So it does help you not get, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, you don't get that overbrush that you're getting on this one. So I guess screwing up was a great way to show you the example of the different looks that you get. You can see that these leaves are definitely look a whole lot different when they have the embossing powder in them. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to switch cameras back. Again, just a couple other reminders. Next week is, can you believe it? It's already July. So it will be another Make It With Me Monday. I'll be posting information of what you need in order to craft right along with me next week at 7:30 Mountain Time. This week is my turn for our scrapped episode, again featuring the in colors. So be watching for that on Thursday or Friday. I should hopefully be posting that. So be watching, and you can always catch up on the older ones. I do have a link and a playlist on YouTube that you can check those out at. I will have the links on my Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to work on trying to get caught up on that blog a little bit, but you can check those out and check them out on YouTube. Remember that the sweet sale ends this month, so if you haven't taken advantage of that, I highly recommend taking advantage. You can shop on my website at Stampin. CandiceAnderson.stampinup.net, or reach out to me with any questions. Thanks again for joining me, and have a STEMtastic night.